Hello, my name is Collection Connoisseur. I collect digital thingamabobs and video games, and today, playing Monster Train. Today on Monster Train, I'm going to be playing as the very last champion that I haven't played with yet, Little Fade from the Melting Remnant, the exiled champion from the Melting Remnant. Ooh, and I like that starting card, Reform a Random Unit. That seems good. And for our allied clan, we'll be playing with the Stygian Guard. And the question is, do I want Frozen Lance, which I consider pretty bad, or Foregone Power, which seems pretty bad? They're bad in different ways, though. I honestly don't know which one of these would be worse or better, so let's go slightly more interesting and choose Foregone Power. I might remove most of them from the deck, though. We'll see. And I'm still playing on Covenant Rank 10. I have not earned my first victory on Covenant Rank 10. Let's go, and try to earn it this time. Alright, here are our random starting cards. I do not like Draft. We've seen this before, I've never played with it, but I really don't like the Burnout 1. Burnout 1 seems pretty bad. It's better with the Little Fade starting card, I guess. Ice Tornado, Permafrost, so it stays in your hand until you need it. Deal 20 damage to a random enemy unit 3 times. So that seems very similar to the card that we played last time, Excavation Eruption, except that this one has Permafrost and it doesn't give you Ember back when you slay a unit. I kind of liked the Excavation Eruption last time, so maybe Ice Tornado will be better than it looks. Doesn't look very good. And Sacred Wicks. Consume, reform 2 random units. I do like that. That one seems nice. The more times you reform a unit, the better they get. So reforming units lots of times seems like a good thing to do. We are fighting Seraph the Chaste. Purifying Emblem. Seraph will remove half of any debuff and debuff effect stacks. The reform buffs don't count as buffs, I don't think. Even though I think of them as a buff as a video gamer, they don't act as green buffs. So Seraph the Chaste does not remove the effects of reform. That's important. Now, let's look at our starting deck. Little Fade we don't know yet, but the fact that the champion has 5 attack and 1 health is pretty interesting to start out with. 1 health champion. Interesting. Draft, as I said, I don't really like. The Foregone Power discards a random card in our hand. That makes them pretty questionable, especially because we did not get any offering cards. Also works pretty bad with Ice Tornado, which is Permafrost. I do like the Primitive Mold, reform a random unit, and Sacred Wicks is kind of a better version of Primitive Mold, and of course we have the Train Stewards. So first steps first, the thing I know the least about. Let's see what our champion actually does. Firelight. Extinguish, apply +5/+5, and Burnout 2 to friendly units. So when she dies, she adds Burnout to our friendly units. That's pretty good with Draft, and that's pretty good with Reform. And then Spikes 1, Slay, gain 2 attack, and Spikes 2 permanently. The chance of her slaying a unit is pretty small, but the fact that it's permanent is quite interesting. Because if we can continue to reform her, then she will gain lots and lots of spikes. The problem is we can never really increase her health value. You can't add upgrade stones to the champion unit. So even if she gets lots of spikes, the only way that she gets more health is with spells or reform. I think with the fact that we have Draft in our deck, I prefer Firelight, but I'm very interested by Little Icarus. I think I'm just not going to use it this time. Also, I just noticed the way that the secondary clan gets marked as exile. You have the little exile indication for both the primary and the secondary. That's cool. Anyway, Firelight is what I'm doing this time. And let's get an artifact. Cards and in reward packs and unit banners come with a random upgrade. That is amazing as the first artifact. Extinguish abilities happen, trigger additional times. That's pretty good too because it affects our champion. Those are both pretty nice effects. I've got to go with Capricious Reflection though, because Capricious Reflection at the very beginning is by far the best time to get it. Getting random upgrades on every card that we get, it's pretty nice. And I still don't like getting 100 gold for 10 pack shards. I still really don't like that particular benefit for pack shards. Alright, Mark of Invasion. I do think that you should always start with the trials. On Covenant rank 10, that's worse because putting something on the top floor hurts you a little bit, so you can't just stop them. But I still think it's a good idea, so let's do it. So Mark of Invasion will make this a much more difficult battle. We might take some damage because of it. So Foregone Power can kill something. You adding Burnout 2 to friendly units is not very helpful when the friendly unit is a Train Steward. And Primitive Mold does nothing at the beginning. So the real question is, where do we put our stuff? I normally like to put them at the top or the middle when we do the Mark of Invasion. I think we're going to do the middle. I think. If we do the top, we do get, what is it called? Ember Drain. However, we get Ember Drain on the first unit, so we could put Little Fade in the front, and we will never experience that Ember Drain. If we go at the top, the Train Steward actually does survive this round, which is interesting. It does get Burnout, which is not the best, but it does survive. So I'm interested to do that. Let's go at the top. Take out some of the ones up here. Actually, maybe only one. So there's no value in adding Frostbite 6 to this one. So let's add Frostbite 6 to the ones on the second floor. So what we hope for is that Primitive Mold gets discarded. Of course that's not the one. Alright. Oh well. So instead of killing 2 units, we would have killed this one and this one. We only got to kill one. Alright, that Train Steward is most likely going to die this turn. We expected that. Lots of Clergy. The Draft. The Draft is interesting. We can reform our champion. Reforming the champion is kind of what you want to do. The question is, if we reform our champion, does this guy survive? Because I could do... yes, okay. Here's the plan. Primitive Mold, reform the champion. We got our champion back. Now we could place everything at the top. Things actually do fit at the top. So we could put the Little Fade at the top and both drafts. I like that. That makes the top actually survive. The other option is putting things in the center. I don't think there's any way that we kill the Collector this turn, because Little Fade is going to die. And then the drafts each have multi-strike 1, so at most they could kill the first 4. Or we could go at the top and, in theory, do really well. Let's try going at the top. So Little Fade, you will go here. You'll get Ember Drain again, but you're going to die before we experience that Ember Drain. And then the Draft... Actually, the Train Steward doesn't even die. Ooh. Ooh, alright. So the Drafts can go behind the Train Stewards and survive even longer. And then, who do we kill? We definitely want to kill something coming up. Question is, second floor or bottom floor? We're going to discard this Ice Tornado, unfortunately. Foregone Power and Ice Tornado do not go well together. I guess let's go center, I think. Do we just take out 4 units, no problem? I think we take out 4 units, no problem, so never mind. Going at the bottom. We do want to reform our champion basically every turn. And we might be able to do that. We did get another Primitive Mold. We got Sacred Wicks, which doesn't do much because nobody has died except for the champion. So Primitive Mold is a definite. Primitive Mold goes first. We're playing Little Fade. If we play Little Fade at the top, she actually doesn't die. Which is not what we want. We do want her to die, but I guess she'll die next turn. So we still put her at the top. That does give us the Ember Drain, which is sad, because we're actually going to experience that Ember Drain this time. And then kind of want to just kill off this Train Steward. Or we could play this and hope to not discard it. Discarding the Train Steward or the Sacred Wicks is what I want. I want to keep the Ice Tornado because I'd like to use it next turn. So, Foregone Power, hope to discard not the Ice Tornado. Alright, I'm fine with that. Would have rather played that Train Steward. My best option was discarding the Sacred Wicks, but it's not like we got to choose. So we can't play Ice Tornado next turn because we won't have the Ember, because of the Ember Drain. And you are burning out this time, which is good, because you will give these people more burnout. I actually don't know how we're going to kill Chains the Sighted here. We'll get there, but for right now, I'm concerned. I guess what we want to do is play Train Steward, and then Foregone Power. Hope to not discard Ice Tornado. Alright, great. So our champion burns out. That's good. Weight of Contrition is bad. You will both get killed. You guys are not burning out yet, but it's kind of a problem. I wanted to play Ice Tornado this turn. Maybe it's not the best. Maybe we play Weight of Contrition, Primitive Mold. But when do we play Ice Tornado? It seems like never. Seems like never. Okay. Primitive Mold, we get Little Fade. Now Little Fade could go here. We're going to get a Primitive Mold next turn. So Little Fade dying is actually good, because we can place Little Fade up here. I don't like that you are burning out at the wrong time, though. Ooh. Ooh, this is kind of bad, actually. Our units are burning out at the wrong time. This Little Fade deck is going to take more planning than I think I'm ready for, and that's not great. So, Foregone Power. Please do not discard the other Foregone Power. No, it doesn't matter. Actually, do we even play them? Probably not, because we'd rather not draw the Ice Tornado again. So let's not play the Foregone Powers. It doesn't do anything because we're going to kill these guys before the Frostbite would take effect. Okay, the problem here is that these guys are burning out. Oh, but the benefit is they kill before they burn out. How about that? So Weight of Contrition, end turn, and we win. Alright, that actually worked out better than I thought it was going to. The drafts are actually pretty good if you give them enough burnout. 6 damage taken. When did we take 6 damage? Oh, at the very beginning, because of the Mark of Invasion, of course. So, these end up with random upgrades, which is great. Giraffe with Endless on it seems quite good. It seems quite good. Do we want another Giraffe in the deck, though? Another burnout unit? Compared to Wicklash, which could work really well with the existing drafts. I don't know. Molded is the exact same thing as Primitive Mold? Reform a random unit? No, this one you get to choose. And we get to reform every turn, which might be good. Reform a unit every turn. That might be good. I honestly don't know which one of these we go for. The fact that we have so much reform in the deck makes me not want to choose Wicklash, because we actually don't want our units to reform. Or we don't want them to not die. We want them to die. So maybe reform is better than applying more burnout. And in that case, do we take Giraffe instead? I'm going to take one of these. I have reasons for each one. I'm going to take the Molded. We're going to have even more reform. Permafrost applies spell weakness 1 to an enemy unit. Okay. Apply Dazed 1 to enemy units. Discard your hand. That one's not that bad, especially with a 0 cost. And I don't think we want another Ice Tornado. Even though it's with the Power Stone, I don't think we want it. No, do we really want more discard cards in our hand? I don't think so. I could just skip all of these. Apply Spell Weakness 1 to an enemy unit. Isn't bad, though. It's just that the only spell that we have that deals damage is Ice Tornado. And I don't know if I want more Ice Tornadoes. I'm going to skip these. So a Remnant unit banner might be very good. Yeah, let's go this way. We're starting with 2 Divine Boons, which I don't like. I would prefer to upgrade some of my units, I think, but I really want this Remnant banner. So let's go to the right to get the Remnant banner. Ha-ho! Slay, gain 20. I like the Paraffin Thug. Harvest, gain 5, and Incant, gain armor 2. This one is quite good, because Harvest works whenever a unit dies. That includes both the enemy units and our units. Our units are going to die a lot. Let's take the Wickless Tycoon. And Merchant of Magic. We don't really need more spells that have Permafrost. I do like Surge Stone, except that it can only go on Ice Tornado, so that's not as good. Emberstone is great for the Ice Tornadoes. Put that on an Ice Tornado. Because I want to remove at least one Primitive Mold, I think. Although I want to remove the Foregone Powers more, yeah. Alright, let's get the Ice Tornado to cost less. Then we could re-roll, or we could purge. We can technically do both and buy a couple. Upgrade a spell to remove, consume, and cost +1. That only works on the Sacred Wicks. It's pretty good, though. Reform 2 random units. That's pretty good. That means I don't get to purge a card, and I don't get to do these. I still like it, though. Let's take the Eternal Stone and put it on Sacred Wicks. And I do get to do one of these, because I have exactly 20 gold left. I think I want an Ember Stone on another Ice Tornado, not the same Ice Tornado. Okay, so we're planning to keep those 2 Ice Tornadoes. But we can maybe play them, instead of just never play them like we did last time. Units enter with armor 10. How bad is that? It's not great. It's not great, but I'm going to turn it on, especially because we have no pack shards yet. So none of these are going to be increased by pack shards. Now then, we can mold a unit. Aho, the Wickless Tycoon is here. I like the Wickless Tycoon. We want to put things on either the top or the bottom. Or both, but top or bottom is really what I'm thinking about right now. The Wickless Tycoon can do things at the bottom. The Little Fade, we kind of do want it to be at the bottom, because it would die this turn and we want that. Do we really want the Wickless Tycoon with the Little Fade, though? Yeah, we want our units to die. So what if we play things at the bottom this turn? The Wickless Tycoon goes in the back. The Train Steward goes here. The Train Steward doesn't die, but it's very close to dying, I think. Yes, that's what happens. And we only kill one. Only killing one is not the best. Let's hope we get something next turn. Like one of our damage spells. So we did not get the damage spells I was hoping for. We did get Primitive Mold, which is good. The Draft burns out, which is fine. We actually want things to burn out. We don't really want to play a Train Steward. So if we don't want to play a Train Steward, we are going to play Primitive Mold. No matter what. The second Primitive Mold doesn't do anything, so maybe we do play the Train Steward? So I kind of want the Wickless Tycoon to remain alive. The question is whether I put Little Fade up here, though. Because if we put the Little Fade at the top, we could kill... Not 2 units? No, we could kill 2 units at the top if I play Little Fade at the top. Well, we'd kill them with Draft. Kind of like that. And then that means that you would make it to the top. The Collector would survive. I am really sad that we don't have a way to kill the Collectors, but we just don't. So Little Fade goes up here. Little Fade will die. That's the plan. Draft goes here. Draft is going to kill those 2. And then we could put a Train Steward somewhere. Maybe we put a Train Steward at the top, or maybe we put it at the bottom. What does putting at the bottom do? Foregone Power does nothing, by the way, because the front units are dying in both places. I'm going to play a Train Steward. The question is where? We cannot put it at the bottom. Not enough space. Do we put it at the top? That would mean that we have an upgraded Train Steward up there. And we would still have enough space to have another draft unit. And the little fade back. Okay, that's enough for me. And then Foregone Power really just does nothing. Okay. Foregone Power is not good. We take 1 damage on the pyre. A brief respite. So we could play another draft up here. That would cost us Ember Drain. Except that it burns out. So actually it would burn itself out and not do the Ember Drain. Interesting. Let's do it then, because I don't really have any other reason to have these drafts in the deck. So let's have it burn itself out, kill all those units, keep Ice Tornado in my hand for next turn, and play the Train Steward down here. Okay, we've got Ice Tornado, we have Sacred Wicks, which is nice. The problem is, we can't play all of the things that I want to play. I do like Sacred Wicks, though. Let's play Sacred Wicks. Sacred Wicks gives me 2 units. The little fade we definitely want. So what we want is a little fade in the front. Little fade survives the first round of hits and gets a hit in. And then Giraffe can survive a little bit longer than that. And then we can also play an Ice Tornado. Or we could play another Primitive Mold. Probably... Oh ho ho! Oh, the Wickless Tycoon doesn't fit down here. If the Wickless Tycoon fit down here, I would definitely play Primitive Mold instead of Ice Tornado, but it doesn't, so let's play Ice Tornado. And that means that playing Foregone Power might be good, as long as it doesn't discard this Ice Tornado. Great. We are dealing a good amount of damage here. Not enough to win, but we definitely win next turn with Ice Tornado. Win. That went pretty well. We only took 1 damage, and we got a 2-turn boss rush with the Trial on. So that went great. We could get a 0-cost molded to reform a unit. How much reform do we need? The Molten Encasement is a good unit to die. It's just that how much do we care about stealth in this deck? Probably not a ton. Or we could get a Permafrost Descenda unit. Honestly, I don't really like many of these. Other than Molded. I mean, how much remold do we need? It's much better than the Foregone Powers, though. I'm going to take it with a question in my mind, whether we're actually making good choices. Ho-ho! Titan's Gratitude, deal 125 damage to the front unit. It consumes itself. Flash Freeze does essentially 21. I don't like the discard a card at random, but the 125 damage is really significant. I'm going to take that. And then Guard of the Unnamed has a good incant power. Titan Sentry ended up with a pretty decent stone, I think. And then the Lady of the Reformed adds burnout to our friendly units a lot. That's good basically later in the battle. Still like it. Okay, now I have to think about what it is that we're doing with the deck. Do I want a Stygian unit? Probably not. I do want an artifact, but I don't want the Stygian unit. Don't really have much gold to spend at the Merchant of Magic, which is kind of why I want to go to the left anyway. Because if we're not spending much gold, why not take an artifact instead? The 20 health on the pyre might actually be significant. I think I'm going to go to the left because I think the artifact is important to get this early. I might decline the unit though. Mark of an Exile. When played, your champion gains 50% max health. Considering that it has 1 health, that one's pretty bad. And a Forgotten Name. When you play your 3rd spell of the turn, all cards gain +1 magic power for the rest of the battle. I do like that one. Forgotten Name. Don't have many cards that deal damage. It's really just Titan's Gratitude and the 2 Ice Tornadoes. But still. Now let's go to the Concealed Caverns. Oh, this one. This is the second time I've seen this one. The remains of Armageddon litter the icy landscape. What do you salvage from this ancient fight? So, unfortunately, these all have Purge on them. Damage shield is pretty bad when my units burn out. The Most Blessed Sword? I think I still like the Petrified Skull. Let's take the Petrified Skull again, and let's hope that we don't feel the need to play it in the immediately next battle. Alright, now for the unit. Rage 7, Revenge, apply Frostbite, or a sweep unit with multi-strike. The only problem being that it has only 1 attack. Strike applies spell weakness, though. I think this could be good. +10 health and action apply spell weakness. What does action mean? Triggers at the start of the unit's turn. Oh, interesting. I want to take the Icy Silophyte because the Sweep Multi-Strike is a really nice combination. The only problem is we need you to have more attack to really do much. So, a spell with Spell Chain is not great. The Petrified Skull would be good. Not really though, because we don't get to use it more than once. Yep, don't care about Twin Stone. 10 magic power and piercing is pretty good on Ice Tornado. It's also pretty good on Titan's Gratitude. And the Engage Pact would be interesting, because we could sacrifice a unit. We could sacrifice the Wickless Tycoon, although I kind of do like his Incant. Other options are sacrificing a Train Steward, which doesn't do a whole lot, or sacrificing a Giraffe to give more burnout and multi-strike to something. Don't really like these sacrifice options, so let's take True Stone. And we really need something we want to sacrifice in the deck. So I'm looking for a unit that we want to sacrifice. Let's put this on an ice tornado. So, one of the goals is find a unit that you want to sacrifice to put on one of the other units we have. Enemy units enter with armor 5. Talos attacks every turn and pushes attacked units back. Wonder how much the pushing attacked units back will really affect me. Kind of think not much this particular run. So we want Little Fade to die. We don't really want a Train Steward. We might put the Train Steward in the middle. You've got Rage 7. Rage 7 is kind of nice, that Fury Stone. So let's put Little Fade at the bottom, put the Lady of the Reformed behind, and then Train Steward, you're going to go in the center because I don't actually want you here. I'm very sad that we have so many Reform cards in the deck. I want lots of Reform, but I don't want this many. I just want things that are better than the starting cards that we had. Alright, Wickless Tycoon I like. Petrified Skull I don't really want right now. Wickless Tycoon, where would we want you to go? I don't really like how none of you are dying. And you are healing this guy. That's not great. So we could Titan's Gratitude here to kill this one. And then also have a Wickless Tycoon up there. That would mean that you don't die. I could kill you with the Titan's Gratitude. I think we want the Wickless Tycoon here. And then we play Titan's Gratitude, killing this one because the real problem is these getting to the top right now. The next floor doesn't look so bad. So Titan's Gratitude, kill that one. And then Foregone Power doesn't do anything on this floor, so let's do it on this floor. I mean, it does one thing. It would incant to add more armor to our Wickless Tycoon. That was the one thing that it would have done. And then that Trusted Priest can be killed by the Pyre, and that's fine. We haven't drawn any of our drafts yet, which is kind of weird. Alright, Sacred Wicks. Sacred Wicks is really... Oh, we only have one. We only have one we can get. Which means Sacred Wicks and Molded are similar. I wish we had more space on this floor, but we just don't. We are definitely playing Sacred Wicks, and we'll play it here because of the incant value. This one does get benefit from incant, but honestly, that's not very significant because he's going to die. So we got our Little Fade. Now we decide where we want to play the Little Fade. I think we want Icy Silophyte at the bottom, which makes you question, do you want the Little Fade here? Or would you rather just play a Draft, which would kill this guy? Couple of good options. The fact that we could do Icy Silophyte and the Little Fade at the bottom is very interesting to me. And then we could play the Draft here, and the Draft would kill this one and that one, leaving only the Discipled Foot Soldier. Or we could play the Icy Silophyte here. Doesn't do much. We could play the Little Fade here. And that guy would die. The Little Fade would die, which is something that we want to happen, but we would get we would get burnout on the Wickless Tycoon, which is not necessarily what we want. I think I like Little Fade at the bottom, the Icy Silophyte in the back, and Little Fade is going to give more damage to the Icy Silophyte. And then Draff here is going to go back here so that he doesn't just immediately die. And that way both of those two die. And then he dies burning out, which also gets us more money. So we're getting tons of money this time. Because 2 of our units are dying and 2 of their units are dying. So that's 20 money right there. You die from the pyre. Now then, we do have 2 ice tornadoes. And we have a 0-cost mold. I wish I had more ember. Don't really care about the train stewards, but I would like to play both of the ice tornadoes, actually. This one kills both of these no problem. Do I care about killing this one? It would do 5 damage to the pyre if I don't kill it. But if I don't kill it, then this one gets up there, probably. An ice tornado at the bottom doesn't seem necessary, so we won't do that. I guess we start with Molded. And we want Little Fade. We want Little Fade to die many times. Should have done that on this floor, because I get the incant value here, whereas they get the incant value there. That was not the best. Now, where do we play Ice Tornado? Where do we play Little Fade? If we play Little Fade at the top, Little Fade gets Ember Drain but dies this turn. Is that good for me? I do kind of want it to die. But if we do that, then we've done kind of nothing at the top. Whereas if we put Little Fade somewhere else, then we have more Ember next turn. Doesn't look like I care about having more Ember next turn, so Little Fade is going at the top. Which still brings me the question, do I play Ice Tornado at the top or the bottom? Or the top or the middle, I mean. Playing it at the middle would kill those units. I do have another Ice Tornado for next turn, so I guess we played at the top. And we will play the better Ice Tornado. Now, do we play a Train Steward at the top? That's the next question. I think we do. Just do a little bit more damage, we avoid the Ember Drain that we would normally get, and we get rid of a Train Steward out of the deck. I do like that Icy Silophyte. The Icy Silophyte is doing good things. Now, you are not dying, but we do have an Ice Tornado. We have an Ice Tornado, but we couldn't play Primitive Mold and Ice Tornado. Didn't think about that. Should have thought about that. On the other hand, how bad is it for us to just take the 2? No, I don't want to take the 2. And Little Fade isn't in here to get back anyway, so we don't really need the Primitive Molds this time. So let's do the Ice Tornado up here. Kill this one. Foregone Power goes somewhere. I guess we want it on you, because you having Frostbite is helpful. A little bit. How much health do you have? You're going to have 13 health, so yeah. Sure, Frostbite on you does help some. The fact that we didn't do anything with the bottom floor is a little bit sad. But we did add spell weakness to the boss, which is interesting. Because we did get an ice tornado. This one has piercing, so it would only take one hit on that one to do. And there's really nothing else to play. So the real question is, what do we do at the top? We could play a foregone power to defeat this one so that it doesn't deal any damage to the pyre. This one's already dying. So yeah, Ice Tornado goes down here. Deals a bunch of damage to the boss. At least, let's see here. At least this is dealing 120 damage to the boss. It did 180? Wait a minute. Do I misunderstand spell weakness? It took 180? I need to puzzle that out. Why did that take 180? So this one does 30 damage to a random enemy 3 times. That enemy had spell weakness 2 on it. So the first time it took damage, I was expecting it to take 90 damage, because it's 30 plus 30 times 2. That's 90. And then I was expecting it to take another 30 damage. It turned out that it took the spell weakness twice from Ice Tornado. So spell weakness plus a spell that deals damage multiple times actually works well together. Did not expect that. Did not expect that at all, actually. So do I want to play 2 foregone powers rather than playing 1 train steward? Kind of. 1 foregone power is going up here so that you don't deal damage to the pyre. And then we did not discard either of these, which means we get to play both of them. And we are going to play a train steward in the middle. And then we get to play a foregone power down here, deal a little bit of damage to the boss. And the boss is getting spell weakness again, so another Ice Tornado does help us. Let's see what happens next turn. Next turn, the boss is not dying currently, but we do get to play Sacred Wicks, which gives us 2 units back, and we get to play Molded, which gives us a specific unit back, like Little Fade, for example. And then we get to reform units as well. Alright, I think we're winning on this turn, on this floor though, so let's just do this and win on this floor. But we could play a fair amount at the top floor this turn if we needed to. Great, that one worked out very well. Now for one of the hard choices of the run though. Siren Song is pyre bound. Ascend enemy units on the floor and apply dazed 3. I like that. Harvest, gain 1 soul, extinguish, deal damage to enemy units equal to 15 times the soul count. I really don't like that you got the large stone though. And transfer all frostbite on this floor to a unit and then double the amount. We don't really do that much frostbite. I'm going to take Siren Song. I think Siren Song might work very well against defeating the non-boss units. So I want to think about units that I would want to sacrifice. Also, the Eel Gorgon is here, which is interesting. Plus 10 health in Cant Armor 2 is okay. Plus 5 and in Cant Rage 1 is okay. They're only okay though, they're not amazing. We don't have a deck that plays tons of spells each turn, although I kind of want to get there if we can somehow. Which means the Guard of the Unnamed might be a good thing to sacrifice, but currently it's not. Who would we put it on? We would put it on... Who would we put it on? The Wickless Tycoon, maybe? I don't think those are worth it, and I don't think I want more units in the deck right now. Just because we don't have space, really. So let's skip. Extra Ember per turn is something that I definitely want. Extra cards per turn is definitely something that I want. Extra space is something I want. So the thing that I've not worried about the most is Ember. So I don't think I'm going to take Fell's Remorse. Drawing more cards is extremely significant. Having more space is pretty significant because I'm getting my units back a lot. So let's take the Light of Seraph. Does mean the Forgotten Name is worse. The draw one extra turn works well with Forgotten Name. I think we need the Light of Seraph earlier though. That removes 2 cards. I'm very desirable of removing 2 cards. We could duplicate a card. We haven't gone to a Merchant of Steel yet, which makes me kind of want to go this way. The 20 Pyre health is not nothing, but removing 2 cards is kind of what we need to do most. So let's go to the left. And what does our champion do? So Firelight 2 applies even more attack, but the same amount of health, and applies Burnout 2 instead of... no, it was always 2. Or we could add Spikes. Spikes 1 is so insignificant to start with, though. I don't think you're really going to slay anything. So we're not going toward Little Icarus this time. I guess we're going more towards Firelight 2. I have no idea what I want to duplicate. Let's gain an artifact next. +3 magic power. Interesting. Drop Cage. Interesting. Lightstone Casing. Interesting. Huh. So the +3 magic power is pretty nice because the Ice Tornadoes get that multiple times. So that's interesting. And the Titan's Gratitude gets a pretty big effect from it because it's attuned. But we have so few cards that just deal direct damage that I don't really want to take Tempered Talisman. The Iron Drop Cage would mean the card that we just added, Siren Song, applies more dazed. It would apply 5 dazed instead of 3. That's pretty small still, though. I think the spell's getting an extra upgrade slot is going to be the big effect here. So let's get that. Doesn't do anything now, though. And then these things are known, so let's take a Remnant unit. And that Lady of the House has a good sacrifice. I think I'm going to take the Lady of the House with the intent of sacrificing it. Also, it starts out pretty nice too. 40, 50 unit? Yeah, that's pretty nice. We really want to remove the Foregone Powers. The Foregone Powers are the things that, when I draw them, I dislike them the most. We also want to remove at least 1 Primitive Mold. And at least 4 Train Stewards. Way too many things I want to remove. What is the most painful thing in the deck right now? Probably probably a train steward is the most painful thing. And then, do train stewards remain the most painful thing after we remove one? I think a foregone power is the next most annoying thing. Would like to remove a lot of cards, though. So, what would we duplicate? We could duplicate our upgraded Ice Tornado. That's not bad at all. We could duplicate Petrified Skull. I don't think I want that. Sacred Wicks is really nice if we have more cards that die. I think mostly I want to duplicate this Ice Tornado. So we're going to dupe it, which gives +5 pack shards. Okay, we really do need Ember, though. I want more Ember now. Do we want another Mark of Invasion? Mark of Invasion is getting worse for us. I think I still want it. Especially now that we have that Pyre Bound and more direct damage cards. Alright, Clipped Guard, let's go. And we get Sycophants, if I remember. Yes, we got a whole bunch of Sycophants. The Icy Silliphite actually takes them all out. Nice. So we could put Little Fade at the top and Icy Silliphite behind it. The one problem there is that the Spell Weakness 1 doesn't really do anything if we play the Icy Silliphite at the top. But on the other hand, Icy Silliphite would have +12 attack with Sweep Multi-Strike, which is quite nice. We would take out all of the starting units no problem, and we wouldn't get the downside of the Ember Drain the first turn. All seems like pretty good stuff. Okay, so the plan is Little Fade up here, Icy Silliphite behind it. We can still play the rest of our cards. I think the Lady of the House goes at the bottom to kill off those. And then Train Steward, we could put it up here because that way it's protecting the Icy Silliphite. Let's do that. And then Foregone Power only helps us on this floor. Does that really help us, though? Doesn't help us much. Because these guys would be stronger. These guys would deal 4 damage apiece, which means they would just kill the Train Steward. If I don't do this, then they don't kill the Train Steward. Would I rather have the Train Steward dead or alive? Dead. Alright. Technically it was worse to kill that one, except that I wanted the unit up there dead. Now you're burning out this turn. That is annoying. Could put the Wickless Tycoon at the top. That would get us a bunch of money, but also 1 Ember Drain. This Ice Tornado is quite nice at the bottom. Or we could keep it for a future turn. I think we want the Wickless Tycoon at the top. So what we do is we play... Ooh, but if we play Wickless Tycoon at the top, I can't put Little Fade back at the top. Which is also something that I want. Because I want you to survive longer. Potentially. Or you could die. If you burned out, would that be a problem? I don't know. Let's consider everybody at the top burning out this turn. If we do that, then where do we want Little Fade? because we do want Little Fade back. We could put Little Fade here. Yeah, let's do that. So I think I'm going to play Wickless Baron, Giraffe, and Primitive Mold. For that reason, I want to play the Wickless Baron first. Wickless Baron. Now you get armor. Little Fade goes here, burns out, which is fine. And Giraffe goes up here, doesn't burn out yet. Do I want him in the back or the front? Probably doesn't matter, but we're putting him in the back. You are just taking out units. I like how you're taking out units. Now, Icy Silophyte. You died, which means we can reform you sometime. And put you at the bottom instead. Do we get... So Siren Song doesn't help us this turn. Really needs holdover. Lady of the Reforged is quite nice. We could put that at the bottom. I like that. We can choose a unit that we reform. Ho-ho! Oh, I want both of them, don't I? I think I want the Icy Silophyte more, though. It does have Burnout 1, but the Lady of the Reformed adds Burnout to units. So we could play that, and then this one in the back. That means that you will add Burnout to the Icy Silophyte, keep it around. We can still play an Ice Tornado. It's kind of no need. What else do we want? No reason to play an Ice Tornado because it has Permafrost. I guess we play the Train Steward here. Not that it's doing a whole lot here. But put it in the front. Actually, it would have been better in the middle, because he's burning out, so why not have him take damage? Oh well, that was kind of a mistake. Our units are burning out, which is kind of what we want to happen. Kind of, I guess. You are keeping these units from not burning out. That is really nice. So I think I want to reform units. Reform gets a Train Steward. Reform gets a Wickless Tycoon. We do want that Wickless Tycoon. Has Burnout 1. Train Steward also has Burnout 1. I think we don't play the Train Steward. We just play Wickless Tycoon. He burns out, but then we can reform him again later. And then you guys are mostly dying. The one with 0 attack doesn't die. We might Ice Tornado him, though. Or we could Titan's Gratitude him. We do want to play Sacred Wicks this turn. If we play Titan's Gratitude, it discards a random card. I don't like that. So I think what we do is we play Ice Tornado and Sacred Wicks, and then we keep the 2 better Ice Tornadoes for next turn. So Ice Tornado, Sacred Wicks, we get Wickless Tycoon and Giraffe. Not the ones I particularly wanted because you have Burnout. So you're just going to burn out again. But I guess I still want you to burn out again. Rather than not. But who knows, we might just win right here. We aren't yet winning right here, but maybe an Ice Tornado will change that. Ice Tornado changes that, and we win. Great. My only fear with this deck is that my units burn out often enough that I could just run out of steam. That's why we have so many reform spells in the deck. But still, we do have a lot of money. I do like how much money we have. So don't really care about adding stealth units. Mortal Entrapment doesn't seem great. Endless Spikes 3, Extinguish Draw 1. Huh. I like the Votivary this time. Let's take it. Ice Storm. Deal 11 damage to a random enemy 5 times. It already has a Power Stone in it. Perfect. The Unnamed Tome is interesting, but I think the Ice Storm is perfect. With the Forgotten Name, with the Power Stone already in it, that's exactly what we want. More Remnants of Armageddon, what? Wait a minute, is this because we didn't use our spell, so we get another one? More Remnants of Armageddon are found in the snow, eerily similar to before. Have you been here already, or is this carnage so widespread that it's all become noise to you? But you see something you've not seen before. A glowing relic amongst the dark figures. Perhaps it can help you to make this war a distant memory. Oh my gosh, this is amazing! This is an artifact that makes the spell that we took before, the Petrified Skull, amazing. That's the only spell that we have that has Purge on it, but now we are perfectly fine having things with Purge on it. Yeah, let's get the Hope for Peace. Oh, and I got an achievement for that. It's a secret. Find a rare flower. I feel pretty good about that. Alright, we have lots of money, which means the Merchant of Trinkets seems pretty good. The Merchant of Magic is pretty good too because of the light stone casing. Let's look at what we have in the future. So next time we have weird options. The time after that we have a Merchant of Magic. We're definitely going to go on the left here, so we're going to have a Merchant of Magic there. I think that means that we go Merchant of Trinkets this time. Get lots of artifacts. So also the 20 Pyre health is kind of nice, because we started 20 health down because of Covenant rank 9. So we're finally getting that health back. And then, what's in here? Grant +3 stacks of burnout each time it is applied. Combustible wax fixes the problem that I said we might have with this deck. Tethys' Scales is kind of nice too. And then Flicker's Liquor. When you play a unit, a random card in your hand is reduced to 0 until played or discarded. We play units all the time. These are great. Can I afford all 3 of them? Of course not. We're going to get Combustible Wax and Flicker's Liquor. Okay, great. We might spend that 50 gold on removing a card too. Friendly units get... Hey, this is kind of cool, seeing these two. Worn Grindstone or Armored Chestplates. Do you want more attack or more health? I want more attack. I think my units are supposed to die. Let's give them more attack. Besides, they burn out, so we want them to do more damage before they burn out. So, Extreme Stone, we have to take that. There is no question here. Extreme Stone is going on Ice Storm. 41 damage to a random enemy unit 5 times. Okay. I don't think I'm going to sacrifice a unit right now. We will have chances to do that next time and at the very last. So let's not sacrifice a unit. Let's remove a card. I really want to remove more cards, particularly Train Stewards and Foregone Powers. Foregone powers are pretty bad in this deck. So let's continue removing them. Okay, let's go. I'm feeling pretty good about this deck now. Do I feel so good that I want enemy units to enter with armor 15? I'm gonna say maybe no this time. Maybe no. Let's not risk it. I'm not gonna risk it for 150 gold. That armor 15 would be quite bad right here, wouldn't it? So Pirebound does nothing. Trained Steward is fine. Little Fade is always good. We want Little Fade to die. The only problem is you have Sweep. Sweep deals damage. So we're going to have trouble with our units dying right here. So we want to play Little Fade. That made the Trained Steward cost 0. Fine. The Icy Silliphite we want to be in the back. Definitely. And then we can fit these, so we might as well. The Trained Steward can take one of the hits here. And the Draft would have to take the other hit, which is not great. So we're basically doing all of this to keep Icy Silliphite alive. The Icy Silliphite is the only one that's dealing damage, I think. Alright, well, next turn. This one has Consume, just kills a unit. Do I want to do that this turn? Probably not. We've got some nice stuff here. Remember that when we play a unit, what does it say? When you play a unit, a random card in your hand is reduced to 0 until played or discarded. So as long as we play a unit, something is going to be reduced to 0. We want to play a Wickless Tycoon down here. That reduced Ice Tornado to 0, and it's until discarded or played, which means Permafrost makes that really nice. And then we could put a Draft down here. Draft could do a bunch of damage to the Clipped Guardian. I do like that. The question is, how much do we want to protect you? I think we do. We want the Draft to go here. Could go in the front, it would die. We want it to go here. Wickless Tycoon, normally you would put him in the back because of the harvest ability, but we're putting him in the front. And then Ice Storm takes you out, no problem. And then the question is, do we play Ice Tornado for 75 gold? I think we do. We could play this just to get the +1 magic power. Don't feel the need. Let's not do it. Lady of the Reformed. Ho-ho, starts with Burnout 6, and whenever it gets hit, applies 4 Burnout to units. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Lady of the House has Burnout 7. Okay. Well, I guess what we're going to do is put Lady of the Reformed here. Lady of the House behind. Oh, Primitive Mold, we can reform a unit. Draft, alright. Draft fits down here. Can go in front of the other Draft. Or actually can go way in front. No, let's just put it in front of the other Draft. That made the Lady of the House cost 0. Ridiculous. Made the Trained Steward cost 0. Do we want a Trained Steward up here? Not really. Do we want to put it at the top even though that would mean Ember Drain? I think I do. Just getting rid of the Train Steward, really. And the fact that we're taking Ember Drain to get rid of it is kind of sad. But now we do this, which means we kill the rest of them down here. Quite nice. This battle is going extremely well. I think I got pretty lucky with the order that we drew cards in. Oh right, we've got the Votivary. Yeah, Votivary can go in front and die, right? It also has Spikes 3. Except that we don't have space. So Votivary can't go in the front and die. I guess what we do is get back both of our units. We put Little Fade here because we actually want it to die. I guess. And then we put the Votivary behind it? I don't even know. We want the Votivary in front of the Little Fade. There's no reason to even play the rest of these cards, so we won't. Not even the Train Steward. I kind of want our people down there to die, so that we can put different people down there. It's kind of a weird thing to do. Oh, you're going to die because of burnout, which means you're going to get money. We've got nothing to reform. I guess what we do is nothing. Nothing. Just click the end turn button. Our units burn out. And then you've got Stealth 9. So on this floor, it's hard to hurt you. But we can reform 2 units. You know, reforming 2 units is pretty nice. Reform you, that's nice. Reform another unit. By the way, when we play these, our Ice Tornadoes will become 0 cost. Because we can always play the Train Steward at the top to cause the Ice Tornadoes to get hit if the Train Steward gets hit once. What order do we want to play these down here? You've got Stealth 9, which means you might kill all of them before they get a hit on you. I think that's going to be true. You kill all of them before they get a hit on you. But the more times you hit, the less stealth you have, which means the more times we have something to do on this floor. So I'm still going to play out everything, even though they die. The Icy Silliphate goes in the back. And then the Draft goes somewhere in the middle. Doesn't really matter where. Actually, if we put him in the front, then we get 5 more gold. Probably should have done that with you two. Oh well. Then we get to play Ice Tornadoes for a bunch of damage. 90 damage, and then another 90 damage. Ooh, should we keep this one? Oh no, we should keep this for next turn. Because, no, you're not going to strike, never mind. So just do it this turn. Yes, because then we can play Forgotten Power. Alright. You kill things, but you are taking damage from Frostbite while you're doing so. Alright. You're only taking 120 damage because the Stealth 5 is really hurting us here. Oh man, if this one had holdover, it would be great next turn. I think. Anyway, we can't put anything on this floor. which means everything that we play is going to go on the next floor. And we've got some good stuff to play on the next floor. So, let's start reforming units. Start with the random ones. And does anybody have Incant here? I don't think so. Alright, so. Primitive Mold, reform a unit. Primitive Mold, reform a unit. And then Molded, reform a unit. And we want to reform the Giraffe, I guess. Probably the Giraffe. Okay, and we got 1 magic power because of the Forgotten Name. That might be good next turn. Well, we do have an Ice Storm coming up. Hopefully we draw it next turn. The Votivary will cause us to draw an extra card. And now we play these. Where do we play them? You deal 14 damage, so each of these take 2 hits. Doesn't matter which one goes in front in terms of taking hits. So let's put the one that does the least amount of damage in front. And continue that all the way back. Great. Sacred Wicks could get back Wickless Tycoon. And I wouldn't be able to play it, so no reason to do that. Alright, we are using up your stealth, though. The important part of this particular part of the battle is using up the boss's stealth. And now we get to... Oh man, we didn't draw our Ice Storm. Very sad. We're still winning, though. I'm going to hit you with an Ice Tornado. And then win. Great. That one actually didn't end very well because of the stealth. But we were doing tons of damage, we just couldn't deal damage during the stealth section of that fight. Reform a unit and apply an additional 10, but it costs 2. Ouch. Remove all debuff effects from friendly units and all buff effects from enemy units. Fine, I guess. Don't know if I care. Memories of the Melted, gain 1 Ember for each friendly unit death this battle, yes. Also, I really like the permafrost on that because you can wait until you need the energy. Memories of the Melted. Offering, apply sap 2. Apply 1x sap and 5x frostbite. Spikes 3, end of turn, apply frozen to a random card in your hand. The Cuddle Hex isn't bad, but I don't think we need it. Don't think we need it. So I'm not taking it. Now, I really want to remove more cards. We said we were going to go this way, and we will. So, remove more cards. We do not like the Forgotten Powers, we do not like Trained Stewards. Trained Stewards really mess with my random reforms. So let's remove a Trained Steward, and then, honestly, let's remove another Foregone Power, because they're pretty bad in this deck. Don't really want to discard cards at random when we have so much permafrost. Restore 20 Pyre health, whatever. Before we duplicate a card... Oh, we could get a Value Stone. Let's click on it. We could get a Value Stone, put it on one of these Ice Tornadoes, and then duplicate it. Or the Ice Storm. No. The Ice Storm needs more... That's the wrong thing. Value Stone. Value Stone on the Ice Tornado. We want that. It just costs 0. We're at 60 pack shards. Let's think about pack shards. We are going to duplicate that Ice Tornado, though, aren't we? The one that we just did. Or we could duplicate Ice Storm. Would I rather duplicate the 0-cost Ice Tornado or the 1-cost Ice Storm. The Ice Storm does a lot more damage. I think we want to duplicate the Ice Storm. Other option is the Petrified Skull, but I think we want to duplicate Ice Storm. So that adds 10 more pack shards. So 70 pack shards, we're not going to do that. We could get all of the rest of the pack shards we need at that Divine Temple. I think I'll wait until then, especially because we might duplicate another card. And I really don't want to make these battles more difficult than they need to be. Yeah. We'll have more information about what we want to sacrifice then anyway. So Alabaster Guardians have Spell Shield 5. No! That's so bad. I don't want Spell Shield 5. I have so many damage spells now. Alright, Little Fade of course is great. The fact that we have Icy Silophyte in the opening hand with Little Fade is wonderful. We can put it at the bottom, make Icy Silophyte start off great, and the Lady of the Reformed can go down there too, which makes the Icy Silophyte basically not die. This is a wonderful start. So Lady of the Reformed goes down here. Icy Silophyte goes down here. I don't know why the game is making the things I want to play cost 0, but it is. It knows exactly what I want to play next. And then the Wickless Tycoon I would love to put down here too, but can't fit. So the Wickless Tycoon is going to go here just so that he starts whittling down this particular Alabaster Guardian. Do I want to do the same with the Train Steward? Put the Train Steward in front so that when fell, or when something gets here, the Train Steward dies. Great, we need a Reform card to get back Little Fade. We got one. Alright. So you don't have Incant, do you? No. Great. So you've got Incant. We'll do Primitive Mold right here. Get our Little Fade back. We want to put the Little Fade down here where it can die again. And is there any reason to do anything else? I mean, the Clipped Reflector, we would like to kill it, but it'll be easier to kill it next turn with one of these Ice Tornadoes. And then here, we could play a Lady of the House. We could play that at the top as well. Not really worried about Ember right now. So playing a Lady of the House at the top is perfectly fine. Let's do it. This Ember Drain turns out to not be so bad in a deck where you've got Flicker's Liquor. Alright. Don't want to play Titan's Gratitude because it discards one of these. I mean, they both cost 0, so what does it matter? Okay. Well, it also consumes itself. Let's not play it. I like how the Icy Silophyte is getting very strong. You're killing that one. You are not dying yet. We've got so many Ice Tornadoes though. Don't think that will be a problem. We do want to play a lot of spells this turn. This might be the turn for Memories of the Melted. Only gets us 2, but it might be the turn for it. It might not be though, because we can make a lot of these cards cost 0. Never mind. So Molded we don't want to do here because he's got Incant. You also have Incant. Guess we'll do it up here. A Little Fade goes down here. Dies, which is what we want. You're getting 145 damage. Oh. Alright. I guess we'll play our spells here then. we want to play a draft. We want to play the draft here. Yes, because you add burnout to our units. You've got 34 burnout? Okay. Guess you don't actually burn out anymore, do you? There we go. Now all those units die. Which means let's kill this one too. With an ice storm. And I forgot about the spell shield, but who cares? I am going to play one more spell just because of Forgotten Name. I'm going to play one of these ice tornadoes, even though I don't need to. Alright. Now we've got an extra magic power, so the other ice tornadoes are better. And all 3 cards in my hand just stay in my hand because they have permafrost. Alright. You being at the top doesn't really do much of anything. I like that. We've got another ice storm to play. No reason not to play an ice storm. No reason not to play primitive mold. Let's do that here because we have the incant value here. So Little Fade comes back. We want Little Fade to continue going in the front here. It won't die this turn. Part of that is because I'm going to play lots of spells. I guess a draft can go here. Or it could go at the top. Let's put the draft here. And then I want to play lots of spells. Particularly, I want to play 2 spells. One of them being Ice Storm. We could do Ice Storm up here. The problem is the Alabaster Guardian has the Spell Shield 5, which is annoying. But if we hit Fell the Wings of Light, we will do so much damage. It is very much worth it. Ho-ho! That was a lot of damage. Alright. We only hit the Alabaster Guardian once. Let's do an Ice Tornado. Or just a foregone power? Let's do the Ice Tornado. Oh, the piercing goes through spell shields. Haha. Alright. Should have actually played this one. And honestly, why not play another Ice Tornado here? And Train Steward? We don't really need the Ember, so yeah, let's play a Train Steward too. We might defeat Fell before the Relentless phase, based on what we've done so far. Hello, Fell. Looks like you're looking for more spell weakness on yourself. And you have Harvest, not Incant. It's confusing to me that the Overcharged Apprentice has Incant, and the Overcharged Tank has Harvest. You'd think Overcharged meant the same thing there, but it doesn't. We don't have any units to reform. All of our units survive. So actually, none of the cards in our hand do anything. And somehow, it's still a great turn. Ooh, you went to the middle. And I have an Ice Storm right here. And I can increase how much damage the Ice Storm is doing by using the Forgotten Name first. Yeah. That actually does all work together. So, let's start with Primitive Mold. I guess we do that here. Primitive Mold reforms a random unit. Then we play Little Fade at the bottom again, I think. Oh, we could play Little Fade here. Does 30 more damage. 30 more damage is not that significant. I'd rather have the Votivary, maybe? No, I want the Little Fade here. Do I? Do I really? Hard to choose. We want Votivary here. And then we're going to play Petrified Skull on you. And then we're going to play Molded to reform a unit. Oh, Endless goes to the top, so we couldn't reform that one. Either way, that made the Forgotten Name make Ice Tornado do more damage. We're going to do Ice Tornado now. And then we play Little Fade here. And we're doing 89 damage to the boss in addition to what we've already done. The boss has 270 health. Can we defeat the boss this turn? It doesn't look like it. We have nothing in our consume pile that we can take back, which means there's really just Titan's Gratitude and Foregone Power. Titan's Gratitude does that. Foregone Power adds 6 Frostbite. And we just barely don't win before the Relentless phase. Just barely. You're at 4 health, and it's the final wave. We just click end turn. Well, I think our deck is strong. Another Permafrost. Apply Endless to a friendly unit. Applying Friendly to Little Fade would actually make Little Fade better. But applying Endless to any other unit, I don't think helps me much. Deep Offering. Consume Permafrost. Permafrost Deep Offering. Discard your hand, draw 5. I love it. I will buy that. And then we're not going to take Fell's Remorse. We have Ember. Ember's not a problem. Do we want to draw more or get more space? Both of them help. Both of these help. Which one helps more? The more space really does help, because we're constantly using up our space. But the Herzl's Compound works really well with Forgotten Name and the fact that we have so many spells that we care about. I think I'm going to take Herzl's Compound. Hard decision though, don't know if that was the correct one. So we're going here because we want to remove more cards. And there's a Merchant of Magic. Both of those are good reasons to go here. Remember, the spells have an extra upgrade slot. We get the 75 gold. Let's see what the next upgrade to our champion is. I wonder what the third one is, because we've seen Little Icarus and Firelight both times, and I'd never have wanted the Little Icarus, so we're always choosing Firelight. Give our units even more attack value. And then Unstable Vortex. Do I want to get rid of the last Foregone Power? Maybe. Would I rather get rid of 2 Train Stewards? Or one of the Primitive Molds? I think a Train Steward and a Primitive Mold is what I want to remove this time. 1 Primitive Mold being removed is good. I don't want to remove them all. They are helping me. Upgrade a spell to gain double stack. No, that's not worth it. So Surge Stone applies Consume to a card. We don't actually want consume on any of these cards. We want to use them multiple times. Emberstone is always good. So let's get Emberstone and reroll. I could Emberstone one of the Ice Storms. Or one of the Ice Tornadoes. The Ice Tornadoes are not as important to Emberstone because of our artifacts that we've gotten. So I think I'm going to choose an Ice Storm. Basically anything that has permafrost on it, which are several things now, the Flicker's Liquor really helps with permafrost. Upgrade a spell with plus 10 magic power. This is what we want. And we want that for Ice Storm. The other Ice Storm. So one Ice Storm costs 0, the other one does even more damage. 51 damage 5 times. We'll take it. And then Emberstone on something. Could be this Molded, because it has holdover, so we would want to play it multiple times anyway. The Sacred Wicks is not bad. I don't know. Molded, I guess. We could do Deep Offering. I'm going to do Deep Offering simply because there's not a better upgrade for Deep Offering other than the Emberstone. And we can purge a card. Let's think about how much money we want to spend here, because we have a Merchant of Trinkets next time. But purging a card is really good. Let's purge one. I think 75 is a good number for purging. And honestly, the Foregone Power is going now. I don't want to pay 100 this time. I'll probably pay 100 next time to purge a card, but I want to do that knowing what the artifacts we might choose are. And we are going to have to use this Divine Temple to get up to 100 pack shards. Not worried about that. The Penitent. These purifiers will burden you with the weight of your sins until your penance has been paid in full. We are definitely not choosing Armor 20 for the units. By the way, that purifier back there, I've seen very few of those purifier enemies. They seem rare. Let's get some kills on those. So, purifiers, what do they do? Apply sap to the attacked unit. And then they also add self-mutilation to the draw pile. We didn't get everything that we wanted for the bottom, but we also got Deep Offering, which is pretty good. And Ice Storm, which... Does it kill all of these units, actually? Does Ice Storm just kill all of the units? 51 5 times. It does. So let's start by killing all of the units. Okay. Now we're going to play Little Fade and Deep Offering. Little Fade, and we got Lady of the House costing 0. Let's put her on the next floor. And that made Deep Offering cost 0. Great. We still didn't draw the Icy Silliphate, which I wanted. However, we got Lady of the Reformed, which is... I want to put her here anyway, so... We got what I wanted, kind of. And then adding a draft down here is pretty good, too. We played Deep Offering. Train Steward... Train Steward we should remove from the deck sometime. So draft is going to go here. And then I don't really care about those cards right now, so we won't play them. Oh no, I should have played the Reform one, just to proc the Forgotten Name artifact. Whoops. Still didn't get what I wanted. I wanted Icy Silliphite. So, what do we do here? We could play the Petrified Skull with the idea that this unit is going to be the most problematic unit that we run into. This one is a problem, but honestly, with the piercing ice tornadoes, it might not be much of a problem. So I think we play Wickless Tycoon here. And then we play Petrified Skull on this Gilded Wing, because we're not likely to be able to kill it. And then we still can't reform a unit because our units haven't died. However, as I mentioned last time, it's good to play these anyway for the Forgotten Name. And you die, which is good. We wanted you to die. Now, this turn we really want to play Icy Siliphyte. Let's start with that. We also want to play... We might play Memories of the Melted. It only gives us 1 Ember. Never mind. We will play Icy Siliphyte, definitely. We're going to play Sacred Wicks. We're going to play Sacred Wicks as well. But let's play Icy Siliphyte first, because it might make Sacred Wicks cost 0. It affected the Ice Tornado instead. That's also a fine result. Votivary, you go here. And then, Sacred Wicks does cost 0. We'll play that here for the incant value. That gets our Little Fade back, exactly what we wanted. Little Fade goes here. And that made Self-Mutilation cost 0. Wonderful. And now we can play all of the cards. We don't need to play Ice Tornado, but we can. We might want to play Ice Tornado here because of the... Oh no, this Ice Tornado doesn't have piercing. I guess we'll play Ice Storm here. Great. And that got us 5 gold. Ice Tornado down here, or wait till next turn? Wait till next turn. Oh, but the Forgotten Name. And we'll have more Ice Tornadoes next turn. Let's use the Forgotten Name artifact when we can. It kind of helped. Huh. Okay, fine. Now then, we've got a lot of good stuff. Molded is important. And we have our Ice Storm again. Okay, Molded is important. We'll play that here. Should we play the draft first? I don't know where I want the draft. I guess we want the draft here. So let's play the draft first. And where do I want the draft? Do I want it in front? Yes. Okay, now actually Molded got 0 cost. How about that? Exactly what I wanted to happen. Little Fade, you go at the bottom. I want you to die. So I actually don't want to play spells down here because I want both of these units to survive. This place, though, I could use a spell, in particular Ice Storm. Just kill that unit. And then I could play a spell solely for a Forgotten Name. I mean, do I want to do that? I guess I will. +1 magic power, fine. Alright. We have our holdover Molded, so we can get back Little Fade every turn if we want. That's pretty nice. Which makes these primitive molds a lot worse. Yeah. We don't really need to save Ember for anything, so let's play the holdover one. Get our Little Fade back. Little Fade doesn't die this turn, which is slightly sad. Oh, it does, because of the spikes. How about that? And then we'll wait until next turn to deal with this Gilded Wing, because we want the Little Fade to die this turn. So in that case, what we do is we play 2 more spells. So that our Ice Tornadoes and other spell damage cards are better. Alright, we got a Respite. We don't really need a Respite, but happy to take one. So we can play this one, but if I play this one, this card goes back on top, which I don't want because we don't have any dead things. And none of you are dying, right? So I actually just want basically this. And I would love to have units that I want to die a little bit more. We don't really have those. And then Ice Storm is good. And then we'll play both the Sacred Wicks and a spell. No, we don't need to. We already got a Forgotten Name. Great. Alright, the final wave. We are not currently winning. However, we did draw an Ice Storm, which does a lot of damage. And we did draw Memories of the Melted so that we could play pretty much everything. Well, let's start by playing an Ice Storm. Actually, the Ice Storm is not the one you want to play first. We will play 2 Ice Tornadoes. Ice Tornado, Memories of the Melted, Ice Storm. Titan's Gratitude, we're already winning. Alright, there we go. And we win another one pretty handily. Alright, give me a unit I want to die. Alright, the answer is you didn't do that. Deal damage to enemy units equal to 3 times the number of friendly unit deaths this battle plus 10. It's okay. Mortal Entrapment. Deal 125 damage and apply 3 days to an already damaged unit. You know, not the most important. And a Sacred Wick with Eternal Stone. We already have a Sacred Wicks with Eternal Stone, and we really don't use it enough. So skip. Do we want any of these units? Incant Frostbite, not the most important. Really hate the large stone in that one. And then apply Frozen to a random card in your hand, not the most important. Skip. Okay, we do have to get to 100 pack shards here in order to move on. There's the Merchant of Magic, which we're getting a lot less use out of now that we've upgraded a lot. We've never really gone to a Merchant of Steel. I would love to remove 2 more cards, and duplicating sounds pretty good. So let's go to the left. Let's remove 2 cards first. We definitely want this Train Steward gone. And we definitely want the... We want what gone as well? We already removed the thing I was thinking of. So I believe we want one of the primitive molds gone. Because we have other ways to get units back that are just better. So primitive mold gone. Now then. I'm probably going to duplicate a card. Let's go to the Merchant of Steel. See what's here. Speedstone I usually like. What could we put that on? We could put it on Icy Siliphyte. Pretty nice. We don't actually want the Speedstone on her though, because we want her to attack after one of our units dies. So maybe not the Speedstone. The Heartstone... Heartstone could go on Icy Siliphyte. And Strength Stone also could go on Icy Silliphite. All of these I want to go on Icy Silliphite, basically. Merchant of Trinkets. What do you have? We could add Frozen. I've never seen this one before. We could add Frozen to a random card in our hand every turn. Just keep even more cards. Pyre starts with armor 15. Spell cards with Consume have a 50% chance to be discarded instead. That would be Deep Offering, which would be incredible. That would be Memories of the Melted, which would be okay. That would be Petrified Skull, which would be incredible. And Titan's Gratitude, which would be pretty good. I like that one. Let's take it. That means we have less we could do in the Merchant of Steel. That's okay. We can basically get both of these and reroll. And that would put us at enough to get one more. So let's figure out if we want either of these that much. I guess the Strength Stone on the Icy Silliphite seems pretty good. Let's do that. Also is pretty good on a Giraffe. Let's decide a little bit more. Heartstone. Heartstone is easy. We want that on the Lady of the Reformed. Strength Stone we could put on a Giraffe. Let's put it on a Giraffe. And then re-roll, and we get one more thing. Don't really want the Wick Stone, so let's get another Strength Stone and put it on Icy Silliphite. There we go. We've spent our money. Now we get to duplicate and visit the Divine Temple. We have to get 30 pack shards doing this. I would like Deep Offering to be duplicated, honestly. Duplicating the Ice Storm again is pretty good too, but Deep Offering is more valuable, I think. Let's look at the Divine Temple. It has Value Stone, which could go on not really anything that we care about. Purge Stone we don't care about, so we're definitely doing the Engage Pact. Okay. It's good to know. Engage Pact, if we're definitely doing that, we probably want to get rid of a Giraffe and add it to the other Giraffe. Another option is getting rid of the Votivary and adding it to something. Or getting rid of the Wickless Tycoon. I think I'd most want to get rid of this Giraffe and add it to the other Giraffe. So sacrifice this Giraffe, add it to the other Giraffe. Make this Giraffe ridiculous. Oh, or we could make this one. No, we don't want to add Burnout to you initially. Yeah, Giraffe plus Giraffe. Double Giraffe action. And then we want to duplicate. And if I duplicate Deep Offering, then we don't get any pack shards, which means we have to get another one of these things, which is fine. We could just get the Value Stone. I think the Deep Offering is the best duplicate target. So we do that, and then we get Value Stone. And put that on, I guess, an Ice Tornado, because what else are we going to do? This Ice Tornado. Alright, 110 pack shards. All of our money is gone except for the 5 gold we've got. Time for Seraph the Chaste. Feeling pretty good about this one. Purifying Emblem. Seraph will remove half of any buff and debuff effect stacks. Which means the spell weakness that we add doesn't last as long. Alright, we got Little Fade, we got the Icy Silliphite, great start. Only problem is I don't like how much damage is here right now. Let's start with Little Fade though, we definitely want that in front. No questions. That made Deep Offering cost 0. That's always good to see. We want the Icy Siliphyte definitely, but if we put it out here now, it just dies. So we need the Lady of the Reformed in front of it. You don't die, which means the Icy Siliphyte can come behind you. Oh, the Rage is a buff stack. You get rid of half my rages. Oh well. Icy Siliphyte costs 0 now, that's good. Put her in the back. Now we're dealing a whole bunch of damage to most of those units. We definitely want to play Deep Offering. And how much do I care about the Wickless Tycoon compared to other things that we could get? Honestly, the Wickless Tycoon is kind of good compared to a lot of things. Are we going to spend more than 1 on whatever we get? Not really. So let's play the Wickless Tycoon, put it right here. Then we play the Deep Offering right here, so we get the incant value. That did get consumed. We did not get lucky with the wing clippings. And we did get Lady of the House, which I like. We also got Ice Storm. No reason not to play Ice Storm. If we play Lady of the House, I think it's guaranteed to hit Primitive Mold, which is actually good for me, because that means we get to play it, which means we get to put Forgotten Name up. I guess we got to do that anyway because of Siren Song. We could just play Siren Song. Well, let's play Ice Storm, deal a bunch of damage around here. Nice. That saves a bunch of damage on the Lady of the Reformed. How about that? That worked out wonderfully. You! I hate you. Is there any way to prevent you from adding a whole bunch of Ember Drain to my units? Maybe not. Maybe we're going to get a whole bunch of Ember Drain this turn. That's not good. Don't like getting a whole bunch of Ember Drain this turn. The only way to stop that is the Ice Tornado happening to hit it. Yeah, there's no real way to stop that. I do like getting Little Fade back, of course. We want to get Little Fade back. So I think we play the Molded with Holdover on it to get Little Fade back. But before we do that, we maybe make it cost 0. So we play a draft down here. Do I want him in the middle or the back? Honestly, we might want him in the back this time, because he has 2 multi-strike. And then we play Votivary. If we're getting so much Ember Drain that there's no reason that we shouldn't put something at the top, unless we just don't want to put it at the top. We could put the Votivary at the top. Or we could put it here, because why not put it here? It would save damage on this one. Okay. Do it also get us money from the Wickless Baron? There's lots of reasons to put it here. Now then, the Molded with Holdover, we play here. Oh, darn. Because he dies, you get armor 15. That's not nice. Little Fade goes down here, which is good. Little Fade dies. And we could play Ice Tornado That would kill you, and honestly, well, it might not kill you, but it has a very high chance to. And honestly, I think we need that. Good. And then for the Forgotten Name, for the 1 magic power, we'll play a Molded as well. And 2 armor, which I guess is a reason to play this one too. Alright. I don't like that my giraffe in the back only has 6 health, by the way. Don't like that part. We did get a whole bunch of frozen cards. And we can actually play the Ice Tornadoes, but do we need to? No, we don't need to. I guess we just don't do much this turn. How about that? Don't do much this turn. Everything that's happening is kind of okay. We would like to play these Ice Tornadoes on Seraph the Chaste, but also we can just hold on to them. Ooh, Ice Storm. I like the Ice Storm. We're going to play that next turn, guaranteed. And the Ice Storm might go at the bottom, because I really like to kill that one. Although Titan's Gratitude kills it. Huh. Okay. I do want to get back my Little Fade. So I think what I want to do at the bottom is Titan's Gratitude and Little Fade. Titan's Gratitude we should play last. Which means let's play the Ice Storm here. No reason not to play Votivary first. Yeah, no reason not to play Votivary first. Then we play Ice Storm, which costs 0 now, all of a sudden. And then we play the Holdover Molded. We still play it here for the armor. And then Little Fade goes down here. We want Little Fade to die, but we want to play Titan's Gratitude to kill this one first. We got 1 magic power. We could play Deep Offering. We could play Memories of the Melted, then Deep Offering. But why do that? Another option is to play an Ice Tornado. Seems like it's worth it this time. Maybe we should play both Ice Tornadoes. Why not? Both Ice Tornadoes go. Seraph the Chaste is going down. Now, we do want our units not to die. That's a thing we would like to not happen. Ice Storm down here would definitely help with that. We could play the Petrified Skull as well. Molded is good. Let's start with Molded. Molded, we get a unit back. Let's do that up here so that we get the Incant. Little Fade goes here. Now we want to play Ice Storm, I think. Yes, let's play Ice Storm next. Oh, it hit the ones we wanted it to hit. Great. So now there's no reason to play Petrified Skull here. We want to play one more card, just so that we get the Forgotten Name up. And I think we'll just play a Primitive Mold. Great. I think, by the way, that I'm having some thoughts about what I should have done earlier. I think I should have taken 1 more unit. because I would like to have one more unit in the deck. I was forced to sacrifice a draft, and that makes me actually want another unit in the deck. So we could kill this guy. That would prevent the Ember Drain. I do really want to prevent the Ember Drain, honestly. So let's kill him, hope that this discards. It discarded. Good job, Wing Clippings. And now we want to play this Molded. Get our Little Fade back. We want the Little Fade to die, so we don't want to hurt any of those units. We could play an Ice Tornado here to deal damage to the boss. Kind of like that. However, why not play these two, or one of these first, so that Ice Tornado does a little bit more damage. Good. Now, kind of nothing to do unless I wanted to use Memories of the Melted this turn. Which is not bad. Huh. Alright, let's do it. So, Memories of the Melted, Ice Tornado, Deep Offering. Now we get to play another Ice Tornado, definitely the Ice Storms. Let's start with the Ice Storms. Ice Storm. And then Ice Tornado? Or do we want to hold on to that just in case? We can always play it next turn. I just really liked the option of dealing tons of damage to the boss. Let's hold on to it for next turn. The fact that Seraph the Chaste has lost so much health already means that I feel pretty good about our ability to win this time. Okay, what do we do? We've got enough Ember. Having 3 Ember was perfectly fine. And this is... there's 1 wave remaining, which means this is not the Relentless phase. Let's play... we don't actually want this twice, I don't think. So let's play this one. Get back Little Fade. Put Little Fade in front here. That makes something cost 0. We'll play that and this. That makes our spells do more damage. Now, this has Piercing, which means I want to play it first because it will deal a fair amount of damage to that one. But it can't kill it. Oh well. Let's do this one first. Okay, it did hit the boss. Let's do Ice Storm now. Alright, the boss is not dying this turn, so we did not win before the Relentless phase, but we are very much winning in the Relentless phase. Alright, we're already winning. Just click the end turn button. And we've defeated Seraph the Chaste. Now for the final battle, and I feel pretty confident. The Last Divinity. Now then, what did we get first turn? Not what I wanted particularly, but we do get Little Fade and Lady of the Reformed. I just wanted couple of different things. We probably will play the Ice Tornado, even though that makes these guys incant. Can also play Titan's Gratitude. I'm going to play that too, just not until near the end of the turn. We really need the bottom to be set. We're going to do stuff at the second floor eventually, but not yet. Ice Tornado, kill those clergymen. You somewhat failed. You did not kill all the clergymen. And then we play Titan's Gratitude, which discards one of these. And then we play Molded on a floor that does not have the incant person, so that we get more spell power. Alright, we took out the bottom floor pretty effectively, actually. Even with the Icy Siliphyte not there. We kind of have everything that we want except for a Reform card in our hand this turn. Kind of annoying. Oh well. Can't have what we don't have. So we put this one there. We want a draft down here, so let's play the draft. We want to not get killed by this thing. That probably involves the Votivary being down here, and probably an Ice Storm. So Votivary I'm going to add first. That means the Lady of the House is free. Let's add the Lady of the House up here, along with our Wickless Tycoon. And then Ice Storm down here. Great. That's perfect because our Votivary still dies, but nothing else dies. Oh, wait a minute, you die. Why are you dying? Oh, multi-strike. Multi-strike 2, you attack 3 times, and this guy has spikes too. Oh well. You dying is actually good because I want to reform you. You will reform to become better. Have to remember sometimes, you want your units to die. He dies killing a unit. Okay, this is interesting. I like the Wilt Wings because it means that our units could die on the same turn that I play them, which is very interesting to me. We can actually do a fair amount this turn if we want. So then, we just have to figure out what we want. We want to play Votivary. Do we want to play it at the bottom, or do we want to get our draft and a little fade back to play at the bottom? I don't like you. The thorns that you are putting down really hurt me. The Ice Tornado might take care of you. I don't want to start with Ice Tornado because I don't want to kill the Wilt Wings and him deal damage there. So I think we're going to start with Votivary here. Or Votivary at the bottom. Hard choices. Have to decide whether I want the draft at the bottom or in the middle. Maybe I want the draft in the middle this time. And keep putting the Votivary at the bottom. Alright, I think I want the draft at the bottom. If it dies, we just reform it, right? So we play the Votivary here. It dies, it deals damage, and it made something cost 0. The Ice Tornado. Great. So we could do the Ice Tornado now, or we could play the 2 primitive molds, or one of the primitive molds, and then play the draft that came out of it. Where do I want to play it? So all of my units down here are dying, basically. Which is okay, maybe? Maybe that's okay. We play the draft down here. Draft down here. In the back. And then we play... Everything else is free now. Now we play Primitive Mold here. That gets back Little Fade. Little Fade goes at the bottom in the front. That means if we kill the Wilt Wings, the Little Fade dies this turn, and we might be able to play it again this turn. So now we play Ice Tornado down here, and see what happens. Wonderful, the spikes went away. The spikes going away is what I wanted to happen. now we could play Memories of the Melted. Let's keep the Petrified Skull in the deck, but I do want to play Memories of the Melted and Deep Offering. And we got another Deep Offering. We did consume the first one though, which is sad. We can play Ice Storm though. Ice Storm. And that did kill my little Fade, which means we can now reform it. With the holdover reform, which is great. Let's do that on the second floor for the armor. Don't know how much that 2 armor is going to be important, but I'd like to do it every time if I think of it. Now, do we want to play another Deep Offering? I mean, we can keep the turn going. Or we could keep a turn that we're not already doing well on going. It's just that we've got 3 Ember. And that 3 Ember is nice. No, there'll be other good turns. We'll wait. And our units survive because there's no longer the spikes there, which is great. You are annoying, but honestly, we just mold our guy again every turn. So Tivri goes here, keep dealing damage to the boss. We get 0 cost holdover, and we play Little Fade down here again. Little Fade dies from the boss, and you are not currently dying, but we can change that. We can change that a couple different ways. Petrified Skull is one of the ways, but we don't need to change it that way. So let's play an Ice Tornado. The Lesser Ice Tornado. Great. So now you're dead. We should play one more spell. I'm going to try to play the Siren Song up here. Can you just play it here? Yes, of course you can. Oh, it dazed the Last Divinity. How about that? Did not think of that effect. And nothing to get back, so we're done. We did get a Vengeful Shard, because you always get a Vengeful Shard from that enemy. It's kind of annoying. So Tivri, you continue to go up here. Of course. Burn Bright. And then we play our Primitive Mold. You guys are already all dying? How about that? So we play our Primitive Mold here for the 2 armor. Play the Little Fade down here. Little Fade will die in place of the other ones that would otherwise die. And do we play an Ice Storm down here to hopefully save that 15 damage? Well, we're going to play Vengeful Shard. There's no reason to take damage on our Pyre. So yeah, let's play an Ice Storm. Great, now you're only taking 7. I'm much happier with you taking 7. We could play another Ice Storm down here, but then the Little Fade won't die. And we want Little Fade to die, so let's play the Ice Storm here. Do a bunch of damage to the boss. And we're out of Ember. We've already done the Forgotten Name, so end turn. The boss constantly has spell weakness, which is very nice. The only problem is spell weakness only on the bottom. You are extremely annoying, the spell shield. Luckily we've got piercing spells. Everybody at the bottom is dying. I don't like that. We can do a lot of things to prevent that from happening, but still, I don't like it. For one, we can play Little Fade in front. Now, a lot of you are dying, but not everybody. Let's play the piercing ice tornadoes first. Actually, if we play these two, let's play these two up here. Then the ice storms deal more damage. The ice tornadoes, I mean. So ice tornado, go. Okay, you didn't kill that one. I wanted you to kill that one. Try again. Good job. Now, Little Fade, you're dying, which is perfect. And we could play another ice tornado here. And then play Deep Offering. And play Ice Storms. I like it. Ice Tornado. Deep Offering. Vengeful Shard. We can get rid of that. And we can play both Ice Storms. And I think we're going to defeat the Last Divinity before all of the waves go through. It kind of looks like we're winning. The Steel Slate. Spikes 5. Don't like the Spikes 5. As always, put the Votivary here. It dies every turn, but it keeps the Lady of the House and the Wickless Tycoon alive. It also gives us lots of money, which we don't really need, but, you know, why not? If I hold over, yeah, hold over is still good. Because Little Fade, oh, Little Fade doesn't die this time. Sad. Little Fade does not die. The Ice Storm could save health on some of you, but not a ton of health. So let's not worry about it. Let's instead... Oh, we could play Petrified Skull, just get rid of him. Let's do that. Petrified Skull, you're gone. And then we defeat the boss. Win with many waves remaining. Alright, that deck was a strong one. And I won on Covenant rank 10 the first time. Yes. Another weird thing about that run, I chose the exiled spells. Oh, the devil is in the details. Win a run at Covenant 10. There we go. Another achievement. Covenant rank 11. Merchant rerolls cost 20% more. That really hurts. That's gonna hurt. I use those merchant rerolls all the time. Little Fade is now Divinity Mastered, as well as an additional 11, so 12 cards get Divinity Mastered. Wonderful. Including Petrified Skull, which is a very hard one, I imagine, to Divinity Master. Melting Remnant makes it to level 6. The Big Sludge. Harvest, gain Rage 5. Seems pretty good, but I really don't like the 3 space that you take. Melting Spout. Tomb units get plus 30 and Burnout 1. Oh, that's actually good. The Tomb units are the ones that, when they die, when they extinguish, they grant your units stealth or deal damage to the front unit. So you actually want Burnout on them. And the plus 30 means you can put them in the front, and they might not die from the enemy attacks, which means your units don't take damage. This is pretty good. I like it. Melting Remnant level up to 7. Paraffin Enforcer. Strike, apply Rage 3 to friendly Burnout units. Not bad. And this is a Tomb unit, for example. Extinguish, summon 2 draft units. Alright, fine. So, what's interesting about that is when the enemies kill it, the draft units appear, and I believe they get to attack. Great. Stygian Guard up to level 8. The Lodestone Totem. Incant, apply Sap 1 to enemy units. Not bad. Really hate the 3 cost there, but otherwise, not bad. Enemy units enter with Frostbite 2. Okay. That's fine. Here are the mastered cards. Great. And I believe that one of the ones that we mastered there was the... No, it couldn't have been. I guess one of the ones that we've mastered here is the Purge card that I said was hard to master. Our Inferno Cup win streak went to 1. So far we've lost 2 and won 1 on the Inferno Cup. And new personal best, Extinguished Triggers 44. Previous best was 33. I'm sure we can increase that in the future. 60,570 I think is one of my highest scores too. Might be the highest score. Alright, great run. Glad to win after a losing streak. And let's see what happens next time. In this run, the Stygian Guard makes it to level 8, and the Melting Remnant makes it to level 7. 2 additional achievements for Covenant 10, and finding a rare flower. I also Divinity Mastered 12 more cards, 11 of which had never been mastered before. For enemies, I am highlighting 2 that made it to my 10 kill threshold. The Purifiers are rare, I've only seen them in a few runs, so I have added more than a third of my total kills on them this episode. Thoughtbinder is a mini-boss, the first of the mini-bosses to make it to the 10 kill threshold. On the left are 2 cards that I had never played with before this run. Little Fade is the exiled champion for the Melting Remnant, and I used her Extinguish ability many times, making the rest of my crew stronger. Ice Tornado is a big spell that deals damage randomly. Spell power works wonderfully on it, and with Permafrost I could choose when to play it. The Ice Tornado's Permafrost also worked very well with Flicker's Liquor, one of the artifacts I am highlighting. This artifact zeroed out the cost of something in my hand when I played a monster, which I did practically every turn, so this effectively gave me 1 to 3 Ember every turn. Capricious Reflection makes it to the 10 battle threshold, and was amazing this run. All of my cards started with an upgrade, and I feel like I was very lucky with what upgrades appeared on the cards I took. I have a detailed tracking sheet, link in the video description. New episodes every Saturday, and thanks for watching.